Before this video begins, I'd like to give a special thanks to the people on screen for supporting me on Patreon. We now return to your regularly scheduled live commentary playthrough of Sega GT because Thunder was an idiot and forgot to unmute the microphone when he had muted it for something previous in a non-YouTube recording of something that required him muting the mic in Shadowplay, and thus he went through part 26 without realizing it was mute the whole time. So therefore, he's an idiot and everyone should laugh at him. But thankfully, Part 27 that you're watching here is live, so welcome. In today's part, we're actually going to be doing the Ford Racing Original Car Cup, and I did do this attempt as a little off-screen, but I felt I needed to make some improvements to the car. So we're going to go crazy. We've got what I call Sir Mad Lad, which is the Fate body style, basically like the modern-esque 240Z style body. I went with the obvious color, and it's currently got 760 horsepower, though bear in mind I haven't put the turbo all the way up yet. Though if you might want to pay attention to the displacement, you might notice that says 654 by 2cc. Yeah, there's a this car is to make this car fit the name Mad Lad, I put a rotary engine into this car. Yeah, a car with a body that should never have a setup like this. I put a rotary in it because I'm certainly some kind of person, all right. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this Ford Racing Original Car Cup with a 240Z rotary. Nice. But yeah, so 3 tracks here, same prize money and everything as from the last event. At Great Rock Road, Sprint Zone Reverse, which is why I put so much power in the car, and Snowy Mountain Reverse, as we go up against 2 SGKs, a Venom, and 2 Gushes, which I believe are bodies we don't have yet, because that's the next one up. So let's give this the boost. Oh, 836 horsepower. This thing will fly, I'm sure. I'm very curious to see just how fast this thing will be too. I've put everything in the car, all the parts. This car is tuned to the max, basically. So this should be quite an experience. So let's take a look at how this goes. And yes, it's also a 4-wheel drive 240Z body, so you know it's even more of a Mad Lad idea. But hey, I like it like that. Whoa! It is a bit of a slippery one, it seems. It's fine, just... Oh my god, all this power it wants to kill me. That was the worst attempt at that corner I've ever done so far. During this LP. Oh, I'm all over the place. Holy shit, this thing is like insanity. I still prefer driving this over that Clio, though. That will be said. Holy crap! And amazingly, I was only 1/10, a whole tenth off of the fastest lap, despite that insanity, beating out a Gush by about nearly 1.5 seconds. The good news is the next track is mostly all straightaways and 2 long bends, so you know we're not too worried about that. So let's just go into this and proceed to absolutely go insane again with how the car is going to be. I guess it does, to be fair, fit the title Sir Mad Lad. So, yay. I probably actually should have done the thing so you could have seen what the other cars looked like. Oh well. Considering that early start, there's the Gush. You can see it's got like a weird back end, but it's actually that's like when I eventually get to getting the SA original car license, you'll be able to get a better look at it of what it's really trying to be based off of, and with that kind of rear end, it's actually not what you would expect. It's actually kind of putting on a challenge here because, you know, this thing is all over the place with its absolute insanity. Again, I'd still drive this over the Clio, that being said, just because the Clio snaps so bad, like, it's really easy to get into a spin. This snaps, but you at least still have somewhat of controls, so it's not like you're suddenly spinning. You just have to be careful. But mostly because this car is four-wheel drive, so, you know. This is just kind of another thing with, you know, how Sega GT's handling physics kind of were one of the biggest issues with the game. Just one of those things where it was, it's just how it kind of all went down, so. If it wasn't like this, it probably wouldn't be as bad. And I mean, I eventually will play the Sega GT 2002. Well, actually, specifically, I'll be playing the updated Sega GT Online variant because that has additional content. And the handling in that game, oh, it's so much better. It's even cars with insane power outputs are actually still very simple to drive. That's a really nice handling game, in my opinion. The sequel. If only this game had that kind of handling, this could have been this would have definitely been a winner, but not how it went down. I suppose now that I'm being careful, I'm actually doing a much better job with this. But again, I don't think I should have as much trouble with the next track because, you know, it should be easier to manage. I mean, hell, I'm not even gonna get the fastest lap on this one. Nice. 44.3 with a 223.9 total record. I absolutely decimated the field. I probably didn't need to put this much power into it, but considering how out of control I was during that qualifying lap, I'm probably glad I did regardless. So, yay! So let's move on to the next one, shall we? Sprint Zone Reverse. Before I actually start this, I'm going to take a look at the transmission. I want us to just see what is this thing topping at. 196 apparently. I'm actually going to push that over to like 220 or something. I want to make the gears a bit longer on the car because on a track like this, why would you not, right? At least to find out where this car would be. We can find out how much this thing goes with that kind of transmission with 830 horsepower at tap. This is also the reverse variation of Sprint Zone, so we go from the last part showing us this track for the first time in this playthrough to going through it in backwards. 103.6 is the fastest lap, and considering the kind of speeds I'm going to be reaching in this car, I don't think that should be too hard to reach, I'd say. Doing about 180 through the corner there. Okay. I think I could see why the gearing was set there. It's not got too much more. Might actually bring it down a bit because it's kind of going at about 189 seems to be the reach. So I'm probably gonna bring the transmission down because it's not going too much faster. But even still, look at how much we crushed the fastest lap by. Wasn't even close. 58.2. How far ahead are we? Very. Very. About 7 seconds over the two gushes. So we'll pick up our money there. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to bring the transmission down a bit. I want to see if that helps at least give us some speed back. Yeah, we'll do about 205-ish at the absolute maximum there. We'll see if that makes any sort of difference. So here we go. Let's see if that at least gets us to the 190 range. And this time I'm actually just going to let this sit through so we can take a look at the field, because why not? Oh yeah, this is one of the only track variations in the entire game where you can actually see a bit of the field before it pans the shot where you're supposed to be able to see the field. Although it's very brief, so yeah, there you go. That's probably the best way you could look at the gushes. It's basically trying to be a Ferrari 550. Those are the SGKs. They're trying to be classic cars, like Thunderbirds almost. And then the Venom is like this weird Viper creature, Viper-like vehicle, basically. Probably why it's called the Venom. But then again, a lot of the names of these cars are always very odd, so I wouldn't particularly look into it too much. Also, by the way, this is again, if you haven't already noticed, me doing some further attempts at trying to balance the audio out. I've lowered my microphone a bit because it was peaking a bit too loud, and oh wow, are you kidding me? The top end is actually lower now. I guess it was smarter to actually make the gears longer, because I was doing about 189 and now I'm only doing about 184. That's odd. I honestly thought making them shorter was going to give this car a better chance to get to 190, but now it's just making it. Now it's just kind of stopping at 184. That's how weird the gearing is in this game. It's very odd. So I might, even though the next track I'm not really going to be hitting these kinds of speeds, I'm just gonna set it back to where it was. Maybe might actually go a little bit higher, just see how it get on with it. But I was not expecting that. I was thinking, right, if I set it down to this, it should be able to at least probably get around, 180, somewhere in the 190 range. It's now not even doing more than roughly around close to 185, and that's like 4 miles an hour slower than what I was doing when the final gear was set longer. I was doing about 189. So that's just, I don't know. Is that supposed to is that normal? Does anyone, like, because I might be a huge car guy and I love cars, but I'm not always the smartest person in the head when it comes to this kind of stuff. So maybe someone who understands it a little bit better, because someone could probably answer me if this kind of behavior can actually be a normal thing with cars in real life. Because personally to me it makes no sense, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a complete idiot. Maybe that is how it actually works in some cases with some vehicles. I have no idea. But, by the way, even though it was live, I mentioned, I think, in the I think. Actually, I'm not even going to continue what I was going to say, because there might be a chance I could forget about it. So I don't want to end up speaking about something I might forget about. So, because because it'd be weird for me to start going into something I briefly say, something I talked about in the previous part, despite the fact I haven't actually re-recorded the commentary for the previous part because of me being an idiot. But, so, I probably shouldn't actually go and say that, because who knows, I might be completely dumb. But anyways, it doesn't matter. We got our win, our chain bonus, and our sponsor money back over 1.1 million. So let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna try it. Again, this isn't a track that really isn't gonna really benefit from having this sort of thing, but I'm just gonna set this to like 225 now. Just set that as like the top end and just see how the car does, because it's really weird. It has to be something with the way the games that they did this with the game with its like transmission and whatnot. Because to me, it's really weird. Like, I don't understand. Like, for all I know, this could be again a normal thing, like with some cars in real life, and I would never know. But to me, I really just don't think it makes any sense. So, because you think the longer the gears, but no additional like power benefits, wouldn't that just mean it? It getting to that top end might actually be harder, because you won't have as much torque to do so, or high end. I don't know. I think I'm like looking into this too much. I mean, this is still a bit of a speedy track, but again, it's just the problem. Like there's not enough straightaway to really get it to that kind of same power range. And oh boy, that was sloppy. That was very sloppy. But still, we beat the fastest lap by over 10 seconds. Nice. It's just, oh, and we're in the we start in front by almost 12 seconds as a result over one of the gushes again. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap things up with this last race. Oh man, I can't believe some of these like mistake things I'm making sometimes. Like I don't sometimes I just don't think, Okay, starting in second is a completely terrible idea, as I've just found out. Because the car moved a total of... Actually, it really didn't move at all. Like, I was thinking maybe that might be a bit of help with this, though. Not... Nope, nope, no. That didn't help at all. Just made things way worse. Alright. Oh, no, 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 no. I see the cars are trying to veer around and stuff. It's hard to keep this thing in a straight line. And goodbye, Gush. Hopefully we won't see you again. And see, that's what's even more ironic about it. The cars, it seems like, whatever the game puts as like the fastest lap, the cars that you face will pretty much almost never beat that. So but in the actual race, they'll go quicker. So it's like, you know, what's going on here? Why was it programmed like this to make things really confusing? Oh my god. I'm making bad decisions. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's a good thing this is a 3-lap race, because I would have been pretty mad if I had just blown the race like that. So okay, I did not turn in as much as I thought I was going to. I thought I'd do that to see if that would help, but it seemed like it might have. Okay, I think we should be okay. Oh yeah, we're fine. We're good. Rolled through there with speed. Almost a bit like a kind of like slidey thing there going on. Probably not really, but there we go. 43.3 on that last lap. Even though I could have probably shaved off a bit in certain places to get it to like 42. But there you go. Sir Mad Lad is a Sir Winning Lad. I had nothing there. That was bad. I'm sorry. So get all our money. Again, same as the last event. And we get the win with the Gushes taking second and third. So, $50,000 champion bonus. And what is our body? It looks a bit crazy, to say the least. Again, I'm going to have to play through this a second time because there's also a regular prize, like normal prize car, so that is one thing I will have to keep in mind. But let's at least take a look at what that body is. It's obviously a racing body, as all these cups with the original cars tend to be. Oh, whoops, not the license. That's not where I would want to go. I'm just going to quickly just jump over, and it is the HTR 422, and it's kind of like a Toyota MR2 like W30 body almost, with like a massive, like a big old wang, and like a pink with like purple accenting. It's interesting. It's 200. With this setup, it's 211,800. Still not the most expensive. The Wales Mark 9 from pretty early on is like a whole 100,000 more, and that's probably just because the car weighs like a piece of paper. So it is up there. It is the second most expensive, but yeah, it's interesting at least. So, but that's gonna wrap it up for this part. Like I said, off screen, I'm gonna be doing this cup a second time just so I can get myself that the other prize cards, so I can then show it off in part 28. But next part we'll be tackling the naturally aspirated large car race. So stay tuned for that, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, and also maybe give me a subscribe if you want to see more content similar to this one. You can also come check me out over on Twitter, Twitch, support me on Patreon, or join my Discord. It's all down below in the description of the video. I will see you all on the next one.